So the next topic is data migration tools. So basically, when you want to transfer your data from your on-prem to AWS, right? Then how to do that? So there are two options that we have: Storage Gateway and Snow Family, right? These two options are what we are going to discuss in this particular video. So AWS Storage Gateway is nothing but it is used for hybrid cloud storage service. Okay, so if you want to have your data on-premises applications, okay, whatever on-premises applications are there, if you want to connect those applications with the cloud-based storage with secure and low latency access, then you can do it with the help of Storage Gateway. So it will allow you to securely store and retrieve the data from the cloud, while also it allows you to cache the frequently used data on your premises for fast and easy access, right? So it offers three different types of gateway: the file gateway, volume, and the tape. So as you can see, file gateway will provide the file interface to S3 bucket. So whatever data you are transferring from your on-prem to AWS cloud, it would be stored in S3. Volume gateway will be actually used for block volumes. So whatever data you are transferring from on-prem to AWS, it would be stored in EBS volumes. And tape gateway will offer you the virtual tape libraries that is basically used for backup and archiving purpose. So what happens is you do have on your premises one physical hardware, okay, or one physical application. Okay, so this would be, let's say, storage gateway device, right? On your on-prem, you would be having one storage gateway device that you have to install that would be connecting to AWS cloud, and into AWS cloud, we would be having one service of storage gateway, right? And this storage gateway appliance can be depending on to the type of storage gateway that you are selecting. So that's about storage gateway. Then the next topic is Snow Family. So this is again very important topic. So if you want to transfer your data physically from your on-premises to AWS, then you can use this. There are three different variants in Snow Family. First is Snow Cone, Snowball, and Snowmobile. So it depends how much data you want to actually transfer. Okay, so Snowcon is the smallest device that can be transported to our on-prem. You basically have to order for these. AWS would be transporting this to your on-premises, and you have to just transfer your data into the Snowcon device. Okay, this would be looking just like one, let's say, luggage bag or a suitcase. Okay. So what will happen? Snowcone has two variants again. One is HDD based storage, another is SSD based storage. So both of them has two vCPUs, 4 GB of memory. But here if you see 8 TB of hard disk drive is there, and here 14 TB of SSD is there. So if you want higher capacity, you can go with Snowcone SSD. It will also provide you with much more efficiency. The next option that we have is Snowball Edge. So Snowball Edge is an edge computing and data transfer device provided by the Snowball service. Okay, again, three variants of Snowball Edge are there, which is storage optimized, compute optimized, and Snowball Edge with GPU. So when you go with the storage optimized, you get 80 TB of usable storage capacity, which supports large data transfers. If you go with compute optimized, you'll be getting the 52 vCPUs and 208 GB of memory for compute intensive workloads that you can have. If you go with the GPU, then this device is similar to compute optimized, but it also includes the NVIDIA GPU, making it ideal for running the workloads for machine learning, deep learning, or any kind of GPU accelerated workload. So yes, you can also run your workloads on these devices. So if you want, to have the capabilities of AWS on your premises, then you can also go with these Snow families. Now, lastly, we have the Snowmobile. So it is the first exabyte data migration service to move large data sets. So this would be basically used for huge firms with exabyte scale of data. Basically, it supports, I guess, 100 petabytes of data to be transferred from your on-premise to AWS. So this was about our data migration tools. So this was the last topic for this module number 5. Now I would be discussing about the demonstration of EFS. So that's all for this particular module, everyone. So we have understood so many things into this module, right? So we have started first of all with the different storage service options that we have, right? So here we discussed about that we have 3 options. We have block storage option, we have file storage option, and we have the object storage option, right? For this, we have the storage option called as EBS. For file, we have service called as EFS and FSX. For object, we have S3. We have majorly talked about object storage into this particular module. So into S3, we have talked about what basically is S3. After that, we have talked about buckets. We have talked about objects, right? We have talked about versioning into S3, that what is versioning. We have talked about access control policies, like if you want to control the access, then how to do that. We have talked about access points as well, right? So if we have one bucket shared between many teams, then how access points would be helpful for us. We have talked about multi-part upload. So when we have multi-part upload, so when we do not have stable internet and if we want to upload large file, then how to do it. Multi-part upload helps us in doing so. We have talked about event notification, right? Apart from that, I think we have talked about replication as well. And not to forget, we have talked about our storage classes, right? We have talked about intelligent tiering, where if we don't know or we have unpredictable nature of access patterns, then we can be using intelligent tiering as our storage class. So it will take per object some charge, but it will be intelligently transferring our objects from one storage tier to another for saving on cost. We have talked about life cycle policies as well, right? So these are all the different things that we have talked about. After that, into the file storage, we have talked about what basically is file stored, right? Or what is file share. And we have talked about EFS, which is supported with Linux workloads, right? And it would be working on NFS protocol 4.1 and 4.2. And then we have talked about variants of FSX. So there would be 4 variants that we have already discussed, right? Now, apart from that, we have talked about the data migration tools that we have. So there are we discussed about 2 data migration tools when we want to take our data from on-prem to cloud. So we have talked about storage gateway. This will not only help us transferring our data from on-prem to cloud, it will also help us to cache the data in the on-premises, right? The frequently used data can be cached. And lastly, we have talked about Snow family, where we had 3 different options. So we have Snow cone, we have snowball, and we have snowmobile. So this is the entire thing that we have discussed so far into this particular module. So that's all for this module. Thank you very much.